All right, let's dive deep into Robert Eggers' The Witch.
Ooh, yeah.
This film sent critics into a frenzy
hmm
and left audiences questioning their sanity.
It's not your typical horror movie.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
more like a masterclass in atmosphere and dread.
Definitely. And it explores the dark side of Puritan New England.
You know, what really strikes me about The Witch is how Eggers builds tension.
Yeah,
He doesn't rely on those cheap jump scares or excessive gore.
you're right. It's all about the slow burn.
Exactly. He meticulously uses historical accuracy and psychological horror.
It really gets under your skin.
It does.
Right from that opening scene, we are transported to the 1630s.
1630s New England.
We see William and his family banished from their Puritan community.
Banished. Think about that.
And we don't know exactly what for, but
But you can just feel the weight of their transgression.
yeah, the judgment from their former brethren is palpable.
And that sense of isolation, that feeling of being cast out.
Sets the stage for the terror,
They're on their own, completely vulnerable.
with only their faith to protect them.
And even that faith starts to crumble.
Speaking of crumbling, let's talk about baby Samuel's disappearance.
Oh, so sudden.
Jarring
1 minute he's there, the next he's gone.
in that brief, disturbing glimpse of the witch snatching him.
Ugh, like a punch to the gut.
The way Eggers frames that scene, using quick cuts and shadows,
Brilliant.
we only see fragments.
But it's enough to plant that seed of terror.
And it makes you wonder, what else is lurking in those woods?
Right. Around their isolated homestead.
Well, besides the unknown evil, there's also the evil brewing within the family.
Oh, absolutely.
Catherine, the mother, is spiraling.
Grief and paranoia
She starts to suspect her own daughter, Thomason.
of being involved in Samuel's disappearance.
Imagine that, your own mother,
You can almost feel the walls closing in on Thomason.
a teenager in a deeply repressive society.
And now she's being accused of witchcraft.
Talk about a nightmare scenario.
It is.
And then we have Caleb, Thomason's younger brother.
Oh, Caleb.
He's wrestling with his own demons,
He's clearly drawn to his sister.
struggling with feelings that are completely taboo in their Puritan world.
Caleb's innocence, his vulnerability.
Makes him the perfect target for the witch's manipulation,
She appears to him as this beautiful, alluring woman.
offering him an escape from the rigidity and repression of his life.
Exactly.
Okay, let's pause for a second
Sure.
and talk about the witch herself.
Okay.
She's not your typical cackling, warty hag.
No, not at all.
There's a raw, primal energy to her.
A connection to nature and those darker forces of the world
She embodies the film's exploration of folklore.
and ancient beliefs.
She's not just evil for evil's sake.
Right.
She represents the untamed, the forbidden.
The power that lies outside the boundaries of their rigid, patriarchal society.
And Caleb's encounter with her in the woods,
Pivotal moment.
it marks his descent into a kind of madness.
A possession that slowly unravels the family from the inside out.
What's fascinating is how Eggers uses Caleb's transformation to mirror the family's own descent.
Into paranoia and despair,
As Caleb becomes more erratic and disturbed,
the family's grip on reality weakens.
their faith becomes more fanatical.
And their accusations against Thomason intensify?
It's a downward spiral for everyone involved.
Absolutely. A chilling portrayal of how fear can consume a family. Don't forget about the twins.
Mercy and Jonas.
Right.
Yeah, they're seemingly innocent games and rhymes
They take on this sinister quality.
as the film goes on.
You know, they become both witnesses to the family's unraveling.
And potential conduits for the witch's influence.
Oh, for sure.
Kids in horror movies always creep me out.
They really do.
There's something so unsettling about seeing innocence corrupted.
Especially when it's tied to religious fervor like this.
Oh yeah, and remember that chilling line Thomason delivers to them?
Oh, you mean, what's the thou like to live deliciously?
That's the one.
Chills, literal chills.
It kind of foreshadows Thomason's own potential for darkness, don't you think?
Absolutely. Up until this point, she's the scapegoat.
The accused.
But that line hints that maybe she's capable of embracing the power.
The very power that's tormenting her family.
It's like a turning point for her character.
And speaking of torment, Caleb's fate.
Oh, heartbreaking.
One of the most disturbing moments in the film.
His possession culminates in that violent seizure.
Yeah, he's just writhing in agony.
Eggers' sound design in that scene is incredible.
The guttural sounds Caleb makes
Ugh, and the frantic prayers of the family.
creates this atmosphere of pure chaos
And despair, you can feel their helplessness.
as they watch their son succumb to this unseen force.
It's powerful stuff.
And the lighting in that scene, too.
Oh, yeah.
The flickering candlelight.
Casting those long, grotesque shadows.
It's like the darkness is consuming them.
Visually stunning and terrifying.
Then we have William, driven to the brink.
By grief and guilt.
He locks his remaining children in the barn,
Desperate attempt to protect them,
but it also isolates them even further.
leaving them vulnerable to the witch's influence.
The scene where the witch attacks the children in the barn.
One of the most terrifying scenes.
The way she moves, her appearance,
It's pure nightmare fuel.
and the death of the goats.
So brutal.
So visceral.
It's a turning point for sure.
From psychological horror.
To outright terror.
Yeah, the threat is no longer hidden.
It's right there in front of them.
And it's horrifying.
Speaking of horrifying, Catherine's descent into madness.
Oh, yeah.
The delusion of Caleb's return.
The scene where she's breastfeeding a crow.
Tragic and terrifying.
Anya Taylor-Joy's performance in that scene is remarkable.
You can feel the utter breakdown of her sanity.
It's a testament to Eggers' direction and Taylor-Joy's talent.
Absolutely. They make you empathize with a character who's completely lost it.
The film really shows the toll that fear and isolation can take.
How faith can twist into paranoia.
And how love can turn to suspicion.
It's a powerful message.
And that brings us to the final act.
Thomason all alone confronts Black Phillip.
The family goat.
The revelation of his true nature.
Was that all?
One of the most chilling moments.
We were so focused on the witch in the woods.
But the true evil was right there under their noses.
Disguised as an innocent animal.
So clever.
Black Phillip represents the insidious nature of evil.
How it can infiltrate our lives.
In the most unexpected ways.
Thomason's decision to join the coven.
To embrace the power.
That's a powerful and ambiguous ending.
Is it a tragedy?
Or is it liberation?
Did she succumb to darkness?
Or reject the oppressive world that tried to break her?
The film leaves that open to interpretation.
It's one of the things that makes The Witch so unforgettable. Robert Eggers really created something special.
It's terrifying and thought-provoking.
The Witch isn't just about jump scares.
Right.
It's about the darkness within ourselves, our families, our societies.
And it stays with you.
It really does.
Long after the credits roll.
You think about the characters, the themes.
That unsettling atmosphere.
Like a nightmare you can't shake off.
Visually stunning, too.
Oh, absolutely.
The way Eggers uses natural light.
The stark landscape.
The authentic costumes and sets.
Adds to that sense of realism.
Makes the horror even more effective. You know, Eggers did extensive research into Puritan beliefs.
Really?
Yeah, he even used 17th century diaries and sermons.
Wow.
For the dialogue.
That's incredible.
Gives the film a sense of authenticity.
It really does, which makes the exploration of religious extremism even more chilling.
You see how faith can twist into fear?
How piety can become paranoia.
And the performances are incredible.
Oh, they're fantastic.
Anya Taylor-Joy as Thomason.
Ralph Ineson as William.
Kate Dickie as Catherine.
They deliver such nuanced performances.
You believe their struggle.
Their faith, their fears, the unraveling of their family.
And speaking of Anya Taylor-Joy.
This was her breakout role.
You can see why.
She carries the film.
Quiet intensity, vulnerability, intelligence.
And ultimately, her embrace of the unknown.
That final scene.
Thomason walking into the woods.
Joining the coven. Levitating.
Both terrifying and liberating.
Shedding the constraints of her society.
But at what cost? That's the question, isn't it?
Is it a triumph or a tragedy? Embracing her true self or succumbing to darkness?
It haunts me.
I think that's a perfect place to wrap up our deep dive into The Witch.
A film that defies easy answers.
Leaves you with unease.
And a lot to think about.
If you're looking for a horror film that will challenge you.
And stay with you.
The Witch is worth your time.
Absolutely.
And if you enjoyed this deep dive.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
For more chilling movie reviews.
We'll see you next time, film fans.